Howdy, 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 and welcome to the SnortCast. My name is Nguyen, and I'm your host and creator of the show. And as we always start with the show, please let us know where you are watching this show from, if you're a live snorter or a replay snorter, and what country you're watching. You always know that I love finding out what cities you're watching, because the reason for this show is laughter. And the SnortCast is a live interview show interviewing funny people from all around the world about why and how they use comedy in their work, and especially in storytelling. And as you know, in the last 6 months, we've been traveling in this warped up world called a pandemic. And this is a time to have great laughter and to talk about how these people use comedy to do what they do. Also, just to let you know that I am, for the month of September, paying it forward to Steptember, which is a charity that helps bring awareness to cerebral palsy, and also to allow children to move and be able to have joy in their lives. And if you would like to support Steptember, you can go to the link on the bio and click on it and support if you would like. This episode is supported by my Patreon community. Oh my God, thank you so much for supporting me to do the show. I do the show twice a week, and it's been such a joy for me. So thank you so much. And if you are a follower on our social media, it's at the SnortCast or hashtag the SnortCast on all social medias. And just a reminder, tell us where you're watching this show from. We want to know what snorters we have who are supporting and watching this show. Okay, here we go. So, as you know, this is a special time that we're doing this show. This show usually is on a Monday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock Australia time. But I wanted to cater for my American community who are watching this show because, you know, this group, if you haven't seen the title, it's called Ethnic City Comedy. And, you know, there's a comedy group called Second City. It's about sketch, and I know Americans love sketch comedy. And it's perfect that I have 3 guests to come talk about their work with Ethnic City Comedy. And before I bring them on, I'm going to give you a little spiel about their work. So Ethnic City is a live comedy variety show featuring the best talented performers of colour in Melbourne through a mix of stand-up, improv, sketch comedy and music. We have Nguyen, who is a writer, producer, performer based in Melbourne, and he's performed on my lineup show, the Snort Cast comedy. We've got Meerna Yousif, who is an actor, improviser and sketcher, and we have Rini, who is an actor, comedian and an improviser and regularly performs at the Improv. So without further ado, I'm going to show you their web series that they released during a lockdown, and we can get to enjoy. And please click on the link of the bio to see more of their work. And here we go.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. We all know why we're here. We're gonna rob the Platinum Gates Hotel and Casino. After we rob this casino, we'll all be rich for the rest of our lives. You guys ready for that? Mm-hmm. All right. I know that a lot of you don't know each other, so quick introductions. This is Glenn, my second in command. He's in charge of computers.
No, not computers. Commuter expert. I'm in charge of the vehicles for the heist.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just had a long week, everybody. Apologies.
It's okay. You're a little rough.
Irene, you're the computer expert, right?
No, I'm not a computer expert. I'm the explosives expert. I make things go. Not beep, 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 beep.
Sorry. Cindy, you're the computer expert, right?
No, I'm the distraction. Yeah? So I will create a little bit of a commotion nearby and I'll get the attention of the guys. They won't even know that you guys are in there.
All right, Elaine?
I'm a sharpshooter.
Ben?
Safecracker.
Julia?
Financial backer.
Henry?
Inside man.
Andrew, getaway driver. Dina, getaway flyer. All right. Kevin, you're our last coke, okay?
Frank, this is my last job. All right. After this, I'm out of the business. But this offer, Platinum Gates Hotel Casino, how can I pass that up with my expertise?
What do you do, Kevin?
Parachutes.
Damn it, this is bullshit. How is this possible? Why is there
And it's
no
perfect
computer
to
expert on
bring
the
the team on after that line. And if you want to watch more of the show, you can click on the link in the bio and check out Ethnic City's web series. But welcome, team.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining the show. We've got Ethnic City Comedy based here in Melbourne. Can I ask you each, who are you?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. I'm Brendan. I'm the creator of Ethnic City, and I'm also a producer, writer, and performer.
I'm Meerna. I help out whenever I can. I co-produce the web series, and I write, act, and do some improv.
Fantastic.
Hi everyone, I'm Rainey. I looked after the PR for Ethnic City, so a lot of awesome storytelling around that show, and also enjoyed doing improvising and acting.
Fantastic. And can I ask, if you had to write a memoir of your life, what would be the title of your book?
Good question.
Oh. I feel like it would be a good pun or something like that, like one tail, or I don't know, One Direction or something like that. I don't know.
Check Yousif.
Great.
Yourself,
She gave it a red hot go.
Fair.
And I ended up breaking myself.
Joe Stanley actually had the same title, Renee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice. I don't think that will be the first and last time my name's associated with them, so that's great.
And, we are on the SnortCast and we're live on LinkedIn and Facebook. If you are joining us, please let us know where you're watching this show from. And our community is coming in from Melbourne. Hello. We've got San Francisco. We've got Cyprus. Good evening. We have got Texas. Howdy. We have, where else we've got here? Yes, we've got Brian Shulman, always dancing. And we've got Rachel Beck. Thanks for joining, peeps. And we are talking to Ethnic City Comedy about their work. What is the mission of Ethnic City Comedy? Why did you start this community here in Melbourne?
I started basically because I wanted to see more people of color on the stage, and like in Australia, our comedy scene or our entertainment scene is actually quite small. So, like, they're having such a small scene, then you think about the performers of color, and that's even a small scene. So it was just kind of a way to showcase those talents. I got really inspired by like two shows in America. One was Asian AF, which is like a show in LA and New York, and also the Apollo Theatre on. They have amateur night on Wednesday nights at the Apollo Theatre, which I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's insane. It's like the best live theatre experience I've ever had in my life. And I think quickly after the very first show, I quickly realized it was less about the performers and more about the actual audience. So my thing kind of changed from, let's get like just a bunch of different an ethnically diverse audience in there, because it's actually more it's more for me, it's more interesting and more like rewarding seeing the actual audience that are just a complete mix of people and then responding so well to the performers, and like it's just the air is something different about that. There's some ambience that's a bit different.
Yeah, I did perform for one of your nights late last year, and you're right. It was a diverse audience. It wasn't just about diverse performers. How has it for Rini and Meerna, how has it been to perform for Ethnic City, to see there is a diversity in both ends?
Yeah, I think the beauty of Ethnic City was that it really demanded Melbourne to see that there are so many different performers of colour that needed a place to come together. And I think for me, when I look back at that time, it was such a nourishing experience because it felt like home on stage. And I don't think you often feel like that when you're on a stage, which is pretty much dedicated or heavier towards Anglo-Saxons or not people of colour. So that's something that I'll always cherish.
I mean, I definitely think it's a magical atmosphere, just that connection between the audience and the performers. I've had the pleasure of both watching and performing, and it's different, like seeing people on stage that like were made fun of for the same things, like having a monobrow in like primary school or something, or trying to balance these two worlds that they're stuck in, and it's definitely magical.
Beautiful. And yeah, that's I guess why we do comedy and create our own work, isn't it? So that our audience flows and changes with us, and it's not just set to one set of audience. That I'm curious about Melbourne, so love the work you guys do.
It's like having like when you have an audience that you have a target to, but then like it's like the ripple effect that like if that person gets it, then everyone else kind of around them gets it. So like for example, when one of the shows, you just see like all the I think there was sorry, for example, there was like who was it? I forgot who it was, but there was a comedian there on stage, and they'll
Lawrence? Was it Lawrence?
I think it was it was Sammy. It was Sammy Shah, I think. Yeah, Sammy Shah was on stage, just make some jokes, and all the the Indians, Sri Lankans, who were in the audience, they just got it, and everyone else because the subject matter. If you weren't particularly known to that kind of like nuance, then like you just don't know where to go. But then you said the rest of the audience kind of like, oh, okay, it's a joke, we get it, and so they kind of relax, and then so because of that, you just have a ripple effect of like just good fun.
Right. And that's what I find with Fee and me as well. Our jokes have nuances that only Vietnamese will understand. So we love it when white people are confused. It's great.
Totally.
Can I ask, guys, what is your first memory of comedy in your life? Like, when did you realize, like, oh, this is actually fun?
Do you mean performing or watching?
As a child, like, when did comedy come into you? You go, oh, this is something I could do.
I played the role of Nutty Professor in grade 6 on stage, and it was like a comedy role. And I never would have associated me as being like a funny person. I think I was quite shy when I was at that age, but that was a comedic role, and so that was probably my first experience. Yeah.
I remember I think I did like Krusty the Clown kind of impressions when I was in grade 6 or something, grade 5 or grade 6. And I remember like the people, like the kids who were like not bullies, but they were kind of mean, but they weren't bullies. Like I wouldn't say bullies, but they were just in that. But like I managed to make them laugh, and I was like, wow, I have this power. And it was just all me doing like Krusty the Clown laugh, which I can't do anymore, but like I must have been really good.
Of course, Brendan.
I think I did impressions and accents as well, but I really just loved attention. So I used to do like performances, and we used to write stories in like primary school and perform them in front of our class, and our class loved it. Not for what we were doing, but just because they got like free time out of it. So that was really fun.
And who inspires your comedy? Who inspires you to get up and do comedy?
I mean, like, there's a load of people. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just
top two, Brett.
Top two, go.
We don't have all day, Brendan. Come on, mate.
How about you skip me first, and I'll think about who the top two is.
I look. I have to admit, I'm one of those weird ones that does comedy, but I don't watch a lot of comedy myself. I'm not. I love watching thrillers and whatnot. But the first person that came out to me was pretty much the cast from Bridesmaids. I think those women are so freaking funny. Yeah, they're amazing. And Mindy Kaling.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I love anyone that's been on SNL. Like, I'm a huge Lonely Island fan. I love musical comedy. Andy Samberg just kills in everything he does. And Chelsea Peretti's stand-up special is one of my most rewatched.
Wow.
I'm gonna say The Simpsons and Looney Tune cartoons. Like they're
cute.
probably like really like that. That was the early seeds for me. Yeah, something about that. It's kind of cool.
Oh, great.
The Simpsons taught me English. I'm not even kidding.
What was that, Meerna?
The Simpsons taught me English.
And they looked like me. 1992, I was 7 years old. I was watching The Simpsons, and I was like, "Hey, I'm yellow. It's great." Until Pauline Hanson came around, I was like, "Okay, it's not anymore."
Oh.
Yeah, but Rini, I totally hear about Bridesmaids. When she took a dump in that sink, I was like, this is gold.
So good. Oh, what about the time when they're in the airport and she puts their leg on the in the airplane and she won't let her partner go through? It's like, I know what you're doing. You're an undercover cop. It was so freaking funny.
Yeah, and another show that I love watching as a teenager was Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh, yeah.
That improv based stuff.
Yeah, it's improv. Like, you guys are actors, singers. We just love the stuff when it's instantaneous, right? It's popping.
Yeah, that's it. And just like honoring being in the moment, and it really like expects you to be so present. I think that's the charm of it.
Yeah,
that got me into like improv. Yeah, that show pretty much.
love it.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's cool.
Thanks for watching our community. We've got Cincinnati, we've got Melbourne, Australia, not Florida. Thanks for clarifying.
Oh, Neil, it's good to see you again. Oh, see you, Neil.
Is that Neil?
Neil, what the hell? Hi.
You know him?
Nah.
No, just good. Like, what? We've got Quebec, Canada. We've got Florida. Florida's hitting the spot today. Hi, Ramona. We've got South Africa.
South Africa, hey.
Oh, hello.
United States. We actually have the whole globe watching right now. Fantastic. Let's
ethnic
talk.
universe.
That's it.
It's not only ethnic city anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Ethnic universe.
Ethnic City comedy web series. Let's talk about that. What was the motivation to create a web series? And particular, did you guys film it in the last 6 months, or was it before COVID, or was it in a pandemic?
I'm gonna say straight up, it's all Meerna. So that was. I'm just kind of like, just talk to Meerna about that. I was just like, yeah, sure.
Well, you are the producer and co-producer.
We just did it like during the planning stages was like June, around this time last year, and then we filmed it during October and November, and we planned to film more, but then Comedy Festival came up, and then of course the pandemic, so we were just like, all right, we'll release what we have now, and then we'll definitely come back to it for like a season 2 in the future. But the reason why we wanted a web series is because, as you said, all of us do improv, and a lot of the actors and the writers that are involved also do improv. We wanted something that would stay, because improv is like here 1 second, gone the next, and you can never see it again. Like, there's just magic being in the room. So I was like, what if we take that magic, take that sense of home, this sense of connection, and then sort of make it permanent in a way, and invite people that aren't lucky enough or like don't have time to come watch the show live to see the flavor, see what it's about, and just have fun.
No, beautiful. I love the word permanence, like, because our work is so quick. Like, you have to go to the theatre, you have to go and watch it, right? But now with online, you've kind of gone, hang on, we're working, we're making. You can see us now or in the live theatre. How was it? How was it to make a web series? Because I know what it feels like to make a web series. How was it to make a web series, Meerna?
There's a lot of group chats. That's all I'm going to say. So many group chats. I'm trying to just manage the time schedules of adults is like a whole different skill level that I hope I'm going to get better at in the future.
Yes. Yeah.
She did great. She did great.
Yeah, and there was such a great series.
Yeah,
It's hard to mess up with so much talent around me. Like I can try to mess up on purpose. It'll never happen. I'm surrounded by so many talented, amazing people.
And I love that episode where you're dating Brendan.
Oh yeah, that's my sketch. Yeah, I wrote that. Oh, sorry. By the way, I shouldn't mention the one that we saw before was written by Randy Adeva, and yeah, it was his idea, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so like I said, like what Meerna said, we just kind of just got ideas from people, like, and then we're just like, yeah, that looks good. Let's just film it. And there's something, I don't know, there's something kind of just very like classical about like just a nice sketch structure like you see in SNL or like Key and Peele and stuff. So just something really cool about like a, you know, there's got a structure to it. There's the 3 beats. There's 5 turning points or whatever. Yeah, it's just kind of cool to have that classic style back. Yeah,
and I just want to talk about the episodes that you have, because in particular like that dating scene, you reverse the racism. Yeah, you kind of kicked her because she's the white woman who's flirting and she's, you know, saying all these racist connotations that, you know, we've experienced. With Ethnic City, was that the mission of the web series, and to show that what you do outside of, you know, screen, that's the mission of celebrating diversity and also naming racism?
Yeah, I mean, it's all like obviously the main emphasis on Ethnic City was, you know, showcase funny people of color, right? And so that just by in nature, that will come in different, you know, forms. So some experience these, you know, horrible experiences and turn it into comedy. Others don't really particularly talk about race in their comedy. Some might just be just wacky, silly kind of stuff, and that's fine. And that's what that's the whole point of it, is that you don't have to, if you're an ethnic a comedian of color, you don't have to talk about like what's it like to be, you know, an Asian comedian, like, you know, or an Asian in a Western society or whatever. You can do that if you want, but you can also just be quite silly if you decide to do that as well. So it really, like, yeah, there's no one way to do it. It's just simply just be yourself, but also, yeah, if you want to talk about your ethnicity, then great. But if not, then that's okay, because you are who you are. I think that's more important.
And, you know, you launched us into that question about diversity in comedy. What's your experience with diversity in comedy, and how are you traveling in it? And has it changed when you first started comedy?
I mean, I've like in the Melbourne comedy scene, I am lucky enough to be dabbling in different spots. So, for example, like everyone thinks comedy is just one thing, right? But like even within that kind of scene, there's still different scenes within comedy. So you've got like the stand-up scene, you've got the improv scene, you've got like sketch, you've got cabaret, you've got drag, you've got circus or you know, clowning, for example. They're like just different circles, and they don't really integrate well. They don't really mingle. It's just kind of like their own separate things in a way. And so like I'm lucky enough to be involved in like sketch and improv and stand-up, and yeah, like it's the same thing. Like it's when I started improv, for example, like I was one of 3 or 4 people in the whole theater that was not, you know, white. But that's since then that's growing slowly, and I think that's just across the board. That's like slowly growing. But yeah, I mean, we got a long way to go before it becomes normalized, I guess.
Yeah, it's at times it can get disheartening, like just opportunity's sake, because I've been doing this for years, and I've seen people just start and get like buckets and buckets more opportunities than I've seen. But yeah, I think you just gotta keep at it, because once one person opens the door, there's 5 more people behind them, and that's the point of the web series anyway. You just gotta, if the door isn't gonna open for us, we're gonna, you know, kick it down, and we're gonna do it together.
Yeah.
And also just to add on to what the guys are saying, it forces us to make our own work, and we've all done that because yeah, those opportunities aren't there. But that's the beauty of what we do in comedy and what you do, Dinah, is stand up. It's like, well, I'm going to make it myself and be seen my way.
Yeah. And, you know, when I saw Meerna's photo yesterday of her blonde bleach hair, like, when did you dye your hair?
I did it during quarantine because I was bored. I was like, I need a change.
Yeah. See, because I dyed my hair, we were talking about it, I dyed my hair pink a couple of years ago, and then I got a TV role. And I had a makeup call, like, they do it before I actually shoot in the day. And when they saw my pink hair, they were like, that's not Asian.
Because they have one idea of this entire nationality, and then other people can be whatever they want. It's insane.
Yeah.
Isn't that a trope? Isn't that a trope though? Like Asian girl with like
the
blue
blue
hair.
streak, the blue little
streak,
streak. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, they paid for me to dye my hair back to black.
Wow.
It was perfect because I was over the pink. I was going orange with a tan color. But it was so interesting that they couldn't see my character being more than the black hair. Yeah. So, and I really want to dye my hair again because I really want to break that construct of what an Asian proper woman looks like. Yeah,
it's also a good negotiation tactic if you really want to, up your rates as well. Just go in there, dye your hair, and be like, I want extra money. Then I guess you got to pay me extra money to dye my hair.
Salons are expensive.
To the ladies and the work that you've done, have you been stereotyped in the roles, or have you been lucky in that you've been able to play?
I had one brief that said, do a Middle Eastern accent, but intelligent. And that was just, the butt just got me out of it. What does that even sound like? Like, what's the difference between intelligence and... So, yeah, I've had a lot of experiences like that in the industry. And that's why I write my own stuff, because I'm like, I want to write this, like, three-dimensional character that, does have aspects of, like, race influence her as who she is, because that's her upbringing, but also it's not all she is, and it shouldn't be all anyone is. We're just as complex as the people that are auditioning for the the main roles, the default roles, stuff like that.
Are you reading?
Yeah, look, I still remember what I'm struggling with actually is I cringe either way. I cringe when I would get the roles where I'm the student doctor and a really good student doctor. I mean, why can't I be the struggling student doctor? And I have struggled in recent times where I'm also not getting, I signed an NDA, so I can't talk too much about it, but it was definitely not a role that was ethnic related, which was fantastic. But I'm always now enter with suspicion around, is this trying to meet a USA diversity quota? Because I don't think I look like a drug addict or whatnot. So I think it's something that I've learned about myself, is that I've learned that the roles that I'm stereotyped with, the smart type, doctor type roles, always get the eye roll. And now the ones that are outside it, being that sexy girl or pretty girl or the drug addict, I'm like, come on, as if. And then like what Meerna was saying, I then like tend to always lean on writing my own stuff or, doing my own solo show. But yeah, it's interesting when you're part of that change. Yeah, you don't sometimes believe it. And I guess that's just my thing I've got to work on.
I hear you. I hear the woman power. We've got to fight for all feminist, not feminist, but all female roles. That's what makes us actors, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm always curious, all the training that we've done, has it always been for that one stereotypical role?
That's such a good point. That's such a good point.
Give me any role.
You just need an intelligent role. That's all.
Yeah. Intelligent role with an accent. That's all we're asking for.
My next question is about this pandemic and the last 6 months. We've had to shift as performers because you are live performers, sketch performers. How have you adjusted to it, and how have you brought joy during this time in your personal?
Let's just say the people I live with have seen a lot of my new material.
Yeah, I've been kind of lucky enough to work on a new project, so that's kind of been helping me seek the lightness in the world. I don't know if I can go into too much detail about it, but very much there's like a lot of wholesomeness in this new project. So it's like a good reminder to, there's some cool stuff happening out here in the world.
Great.
Can you at least possibly tell us what channel it's on?
It's a national broadcaster. I really got to figure out if I'm allowed to say this because I'm dying to tell everyone.
you didn't sign an NDI. Spiel.
No.
We'll see. Just follow my channels and you'll see, huh?
Let's just say we all want to know Brendan, okay, this year and next year.
How about you?
I have leaned into doing more writing. I did a sketch writing course and I found it super nourishing because I've just written by intuition and I write for a living. So it was so nice to do a course. I just finished it where I've now got structure and sketch and those different formats. So I feel pretty nourished during this crazy time.
Oh, beautiful. And I hear you. Writing has been the thing. Everyone's writing.
Yeah.
Everyone's paid to write right now, which is awesome. If you have a question for Ethnic City Comedy, please put it in the comments. I would love to answer it. And because our audience are predominantly from LinkedIn and they're always curious about how to, stand up and just do what you do, which is spontaneous comedy, what would be your tip for someone who wants to apply comedy into their presentation?
Improv class is pretty good. I actually no, because like improv gives you like those skills to like be more of an effective communicator and just like the whole yes and idea. It pretty much I feel like everyone knows about it. Like it's not just it can be applied to like even decision making, for example, right? So if you agree to this person's initial idea but then you explore it, like I feel like that's also quite helpful because everyone usually your instant reaction is kind of to shut down a suggestion or an offer because you're like, oh, I don't know, but then if you explore it more, then that's where the yes and concept kind of I feel like applies in in like non-creative endeavors. Anyone else?
I remember when the company I work for found out that I did improv, they, in the first few months, they said, all right, can you please do a presentation to a few hundred people on how to make a presentation interesting? And I found the experience pretty daunting and lots of fun, but I'd say if anyone's listening that wanted to incorporate a bit of comedy, I would say try to make it interactive. Yep. I had music, I used food, I asked questions, and all legal and all interactive and all above board. And I felt that really helped get like it was like 200, 300 people in a room and their colleagues as well. So it's not like I can go too nuts, but those were some things I thought I'm going to keep them in mind if I have to do another presentation that's about being funny.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, public speaking, like totally. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been like this improv skill, having that it also like it helps you out with your public speaking skills. I remember I killed it in front of a department meeting, which was like I think almost like 500 people in it, and like I made a sick joke, and that was like, I'm pretty good.
Really, just want to go back to you when you said the word legal. What does that mean?
Oh, I mean, because I had food involved, it wasn't like the food was suspicious. You know what I mean? Because I was really mindful that people have allergies and people have this and that. But I got clearance that I could use it for this particular presentation.
Gotcha. What about you? What would be your tip for using the skills that you have for a better presentation?
I think it all comes down to confidence because I think everyone is funny as. You just need to not be afraid to be perceived, I guess. Because that was my big thing. I was like, well, people are going to know me. And it's like, yeah, let them know you. Let them know your personality and let them in. Have a little fun. Do a little dance.
Get down tonight. Get down tonight.
Yeah. What? Something happening?
Is something happening there? Is this when Diana, you still there? Yeah, so we'll keep talking. So what else is there about comedy?
No idea what
So the secret to comedy is, oh no, oh no.
Oh no, we've lost the host.
Oh no.
This is the Ethnic City Takeover, guys. Welcome. Hello, everyone from
We got
LinkedIn.
too real.
Right, guys, get the cast out. Get the cast out. quick, Randy.
Here we go. There we go.
We're back. Okay, no, we've lost all your viewership right now. Just then, yeah, we've said some heinous stuff.
That's it. I'll just watch it all back again. See what
We
happened.
definitely did not dance. There was no dancing involved.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened. But however, I have lost my questions that people were asking. And the question was from Karen Lee. What's her surname? Karen from Melbourne has asked, have you had to adapt your comedy during COVID-19? Like, has it changed?
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved with so the Improv Conspiracy is where we all know each other, and I've been involved with their like sketch show. So they do like a monthly sketch show, which has transferred to live. So one of the things that we had to adapt was like, how do we do a collaborative sketch show with other people involved, not live? So yeah, we you quickly learn how to learn about editing and cameras and try and find creative ways of like doing the scene where one person's clearly in a different room and the other person's clearly in like their own house. So it's kind of like, yeah, definitely is an adaptable way of doing it. But it can be done. I mean, the content's pretty much got the same funniness.
What about you, ladies?
Your own instincts sharpen a bit because you don't have that like instant feedback anymore. So you're like, you have to really sit with yourself and be like, okay, this is funny because of this, instead of just hearing what the audience, like, when they're going to react or how they're going to react to whatever you're saying or doing.
Yeah, I think the way I think I've adapted is that I've had to put obviously the shows that we'd all planned, our comedy shows, our live shows, on hold and focus on writing. So that's been the biggest shift in the last few months for me. And like Meerna was saying, like without that extra support and the people around you to support you, you really become, I feel, a lot more critical in a good way on what you produce. So it's been a blessing in disguise to focus on something that I feel like I've neglected or shied away from. So yeah, nice silver lining.
Yeah, I guess when I think about the show, this is how I've adapted to the COVID-19. Like our performance has been taken away, but I was really interested in how, as artists, and especially when Comedy Festival got cancelled, our work was taken away from us, and then we didn't get any federal government funding to support us. It was a kick in the balls for me to realize that no one really understood the work that we do. And that, yeah, so I'm really glad that you guys could come on and talk about why and what you do your work for, and, the challenges you face, because I think a lot of people don't get what it is like to be an artist, and in particular a diverse artist as well.
Yeah.
That's another game that we have to play and fit in.
Trying to explain our lives to our parents, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's it. My mum still doesn't know that I had a sellout solo show. She will never know that.
Oh, really?
It'll be in the eulogy. Yeah.
Put my hand up.
Yes, Rainey passed away, but also she sold out 2 nights at the Pilgrim Theatre.
No, I didn't. 2 nights. How would you know? You didn't produce that show. And this is the beauty about ethnics. We like to pull each other down as well. Okay. And the reason why Ethnic City sold out is because we gave away free tickets. Okay. So here we go. We can do this. We can go there.
That'll be my eulogy. Yeah, sure. You can say that in my eulogy, all right?
No, it's not the ethnic thing. It's the Australian thing. It's the Australian.
Right.
Yeah. And just talking about eulogies and stuff. Meerna, you were in a selected web series called, is it Housemates?
The Fairy Floss was.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I saw that a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, "What a kicking scene!"
Oh, the writers, the crew for that was so talented. I just did one episode with them. It was the first one that came out, and just trying to memorize that whole monologue was so fun, and the character was so out of the realms of what I usually play, because I've never received like an audition or something like that before, and it was so exciting. And just to hear it got selected for the Webfest was like, what?
Yeah. So good.
Where can we see it? Is that on your Facebook?
It's on my Facebook, YouTube if you want.
Can't wait.
Yeah, the team behind that is so talented. I'm in awe.
It was quick, fast, and the characters were great. So,
Oh, wow.
commend you on that. We've got Ahmed saying, thank you for sharing. It's been a tumultuous and challenging year. Great to get insights as to how it's been for artists. And I think that's really important. So thank you so much for sharing your time. And one more question before you leave. What's on your slate? What's next? What's happening in your work in the next couple of months or, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm working on this top secret project that I can't really talk about. Well, I'm not sure what I'm talking about because I don't know the legal ramifications because I'm not good at that. Yeah, it's like a web series thing that should hopefully be out in Feb, maybe March next year.
Great.
So watch out for that.
Congrats.
Yeah, and on what channel was that again?
It's just a national broadcaster. It could be one of either the SBS or ABC. It's a national broadcaster, publicly funded. I don't know. I don't know. You make the clues, eh?
For me, I'm just focusing on writing. This period has told me to be far more chill. I have got such a busy life. So I'm so happy to tell you that I don't know what my next steps are right now, and I'm totally freaking happy and cool about it. Yeah, I'm just taking it day by day. I deserve it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I want to focus more on acting and creating my own opportunities for that. So I've been writing a comedy web series that I've had in my mind for so long, and I've also written like a little play thing that has nothing to do with comedy. So I've definitely been stretching the writing muscles more than I've ever had in my life. But yeah, I just want to wait till the pandemic's over and just go on as many auditions as I can fit in the schedule. Hopefully.
Love it. Working it. You're looking at 15 years. If I can do this for 15 years, yeah, you can do it. That's it. That stereotype, intelligent role. But yeah, my advice was just to keep writing and yeah, keep doing what you guys do. Thank you so much for, always pushing the mission of Ethnic City comedy and doing the work you do in Melbourne. It's just so fantastic. Yeah, thanks for joining the show. That's it. That's a wrap.
No, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to all our audience watching the show from LinkedIn and Facebook. We've got another interview next Monday. We've got Michelle Law coming on to talk about her funny, and we will all see you next week. I'm just going to put that video on. See you then. Bye.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.